Hey guys, what's up? So, since the fitness industry has evolved into this big, expensive business, lots of businesses have branched out from it, like Gymshark and supplement companies and whatnot. But part of a huge debate the last few years is vegans. Can they build muscle and be strong? Absolutely. I mean, I don't really know why that was ever in question. It's probably mainly because when you take on the vegan diet, one of the biggest concerns people have is getting enough protein. And the other concern, probably even more so than protein, the concern of getting enough micronutrients from your diet alone. There's a lot of supplements out there that, are not vegan. There's plenty of brands that are coming out with plant-based nutrition supplements, which is impressive. It's good. I think that we should evolve into that idea. And as far as as far as vegans not being able to be strong and grow muscle, it's just completely absurd. I I don't think that a vegan will get as far as a meat eater. I could be wrong. If I am, then put it in the comments below. Tell me one vegan who can tell me the strongest vegan in the world that can outlift the strongest meat eater in the world. And there's a lot of variables to put into play there, but in general, all I'm saying is that vegans can absolutely be very strong and grow muscle, no problem. I don't think that that was ever part of the debate. Honestly, I think that meat eaters at one point were just being meat-headed. No pun intended, totally. But I think that at one point meat eaters were just trying to be in vain and just throw stuff in a vegan's face, and they just made that up because it's completely absurd. Look at Clarence Kennedy. The guy's a freaking monster. There's another power lifter with quite a few world records. His name is Patrick. I forget his last name, so forgive me for that. But very, very strong guy. I believe he held a record in 2013 for a very heavy yoke carry. It was a very impressive feat of strength, and he's been vegan for a long time. Clarence has been vegan for 10 years. There's a lot of vegans out there that are very impressive, both bodybuilding and powerlifting. So yes, vegans absolutely build muscle and build strength. But much like meat eaters, it's a personable thing. I don't think it's the whole group as a whole. I don't think that every vegan does this, but plenty of vegans do it for me to make a video about it. And my channel's not that big right now, but hopefully enough of you will see this. But I just think that we don't need to be hostile towards each other because plenty of vegans treat their lifestyle as a cult. They throw it in your face and tell you that they're better than you if you eat meat. I just don't think that's fair. I mean, you can definitely say that you're vegan for ethical reasons, which is fine. I'm not going to debate that. I can't. It's a very fair statement. But the funny thing about that is Clarence Kennedy, that's why he's vegan. For ethical reasons. He just doesn't feel that it's right to eat meat. And you know what he doesn't do? Throw it in anybody's face. In fact, if you did not watch his channel, you would never guess he was vegan. He's so strong and so impressive. He has a decent physique, but he's just an Olympic weightlifter essentially, and a powerlifter and a tricker. But I personally never would have guessed that he was vegan until I saw it in one of his videos. So they can impress you. They can blow your mind. Vegans are very impressive. There's no doubt in my mind, and honestly, I don't think there should be doubt in anybody's mind. I'm not going to get on anyone's case who chooses to be vegan. They have their reasons. It's none of my business, and it works for them, so, congrats. And, yeah, I mean, if it's for ethical reasons, this is where that cultish attitude, and again, not all vegans, but this is where that cultish attitude kind of comes into play. They just want to throw it in your face that you don't care enough to give up meat just because you think you need it. honestly, everybody is personally different. Everyone has their reasons for what they do, and that includes eating meat. But I don't know. The best way to persuade people, I don't think, is to call them a murderer. You know? Yeah, they eat, they eat dead carcass, which is meat, but I don't think the best way to go about telling them to not do that is to throw it in their face that you're better than them because of what they do. So maybe if you took a more personable approach instead of acting like it was, such a bad thing to eat meat, maybe you'd get a little bit further. And again, I do not think that all vegans are like this, just like all meat eaters aren't like that. Not all meat eaters are going to make fun of vegans. Between vegans, pescatarians, and vegetarians, I mean, it's mostly, vegans and pescatarians that make fun of vegetarians because they consume dairy, but I would never make fun of anybody for any of their dietary choices. That is up to them at the end of the day. And I don't think that you should personally judge someone for that. You can argue that animals eat animals, so it's the same thing. You can argue anything you want. I'm personally not going to argue any of it. I never talk to anybody about food unless it's from the produce department. Vegetables and fruit. That's the only thing I talk to anybody about. It's just that bad of a topic. However, I do advise people to make sure to get all of their protein. And it's a lot harder to do that when you're vegan. It is, I'm sorry. It's harder to do. But with all the alternatives out there, such as tofu and like veggie enhanced burgers and, meatless meat, so to say, they're more expensive, but a lot of people would say that they're absolutely worth going that route. It's kind of up there with organic in terms of price. But yes, vegans can absolutely build muscle and grow strength. I do not think that there is any reason to throw them into the ground performance-wise. Just like I don't think they should throw meat eaters into the ground and tell them that they are morally assholes because of their dietary choices. At the end of the day, we should all be able to choose for ourselves, and not only that, but I just don't think that we should judge everybody for all of these choices. I'm not where I stand on the meat versus vegan thing. No one's going to budge because of my personal opinion. My one opinion is not going to budge anybody. And that's fine. I'm just saying that we should be civil about this. So stop picking on vegans and stop picking on meat eaters, and let's just have a civil discussion. That's all I'm saying. So yes, they can build muscle and strength. They just need to do a lot of research for the diet they're about to take on. Make sure they're getting enough micronutrients and make sure that they're getting plenty of protein. That's it. Otherwise, it's not worth bashing them into the ground over. So, I wasn't sure if I would ever make a video about vegans, but honestly, I think I've disclosed all necessary details because there's not a whole lot that I personally need to throw into it. It's just as simple as being civil to one another. If you want to try and convince someone, you can feel free. Just don't shove anything down their throat, Let's be good to each other. Thanks, guys.